Okay, today we're going to be starting topic 29. We're going to call this special angles practice. We're going to start by drawing two parallel lines. We're going to label these lines A and B. And it's going to have a transversal cutting through the center of it. We're going to call that C. I'm going to label these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The first thing that I'm going to ask you is angle 1 and angle 5 have a name. What is that name? Angle 1 and angle 5. Let me ask you this. Is it on the same side, angle 1 and angle 5? Alternate, and then look, it's on the, if this is the walls, think of these as walls, it's on the outside of the walls, so it would be alternate exterior. Okay, what about this one? Angle 3 and angle 7. Angle 3 and angle 7. They're on the inside and they're on opposite sides, so that's alternate interior. Alright, what about angle 8 and angle 4? They're on opposite sides and they're on the inside. Number 4, let's do angle 2 and angle 8. Angle 2 and angle 8. What kind of angles are angles 2 and 8? Right here, 2 and 8. Not supplementary. Vertical angles. Look, they share this vertex here. They are vertical angles. Let's do, I'm going to go down here for a second, angle 2 and angle 4. Okay, don't yell it out, just write this one down. Angle 2 and angle 4. Angle 2 and angle 4. Are these on opposite sides? No. So if I'm just going to look at angle 2 and angle 4, if I'm looking here, angle 2 on this one parallel line is on the top, what side? Right side. So down here, so down here, angle 4 is on the what?
Top right.
Top right. So if they're both on the same side, same location, what is that one called?
Corresponding.
Corresponding, good. Alright, so now I'm going to add a little bit of information in here. I'm going to tell you that the measure of angle 7 equals 122 degrees. Okay, I'm going to tell you that the measure of angle 7 is 122 degrees. I want you to tell me the rest of the angle measures. So number 6, I want to know the measure of angle 1, 7, the measure of angle 2, 8, the measure of angle 3, 9, the measure of angle 4, 10, measure of angle 5, 11, measure of angle 6, and 12, the measure of angle 7. And we're not just going to say the number, we're actually going to justify it. A lot of what this is justifying it. So giving it the alternate interior, vertical, corresponding, giving it the name. And it's not just those names that we can use. We can also use complementary, supplementary. We can use those names as well, okay? So let's look at the measure of angle 7 is 122 degrees. So up here, we know that this is 122 degrees. What is going to be the easiest angle to find?
5 or 4.
Okay, 5. Why is 5 going to be easy?
This is 122.
They're vertical, right. So angle 5 is the easiest one because it's vertical to it. So we know that this is 122 degrees because it's vertical to angle 7. Okay. Okay, tell Miss Guess that I'm recording because I have a meeting second period. And as soon as I'm done recording the lesson, I'll come over there. Alright, so what's the next easiest one?
1.
Okay, you're saying 1. Why 1? They're corresponding, okay? So what is the measure of... What is the measure of angle 1?
122.
Okay, and it's corresponding to what?
7.
To angle 7. Alright? So I've given it a vertical, a corresponding. Is angle 7 on the interior or exterior of the parallel lines?
Interior.
Interior. So I can also give it a what? An alternate interior. So those are the 3 easiest ones to find. The vertical, corresponding, and then the alternate. So this one's interior, so the alternate to it would be what? 3. So angle 3 is also what? And we can say it's alternate interior to what angle? Okay, so I found the 3 easiest ones, but I still have several angles left to find. So how am I going to find, let's just say, angle 6? How would I find out what angle 6 is?
You subtract angle 5 from 180.
Okay, do I have to do angle 5?
No, you can also do angle 60.
Angle 7. What are angles 5 and 7?
122.
So I can either use this line and say, okay, well, angle 6 is going to be 180 minus what angle 7 is. So angle 6 we're saying is, what are we saying it is?
58.
So you did 180 minus 122 and got 58 degrees. So that means that it's supplementary with angle 6. Alright, so now we know that angle 6 is 58 degrees. Is there any easier ways to figure out the rest of them? So we need angle 2, 4, and 7.
Angle 4 is 58.
Okay, angle 4 we're saying is 58. Why are we saying that one's
It is vertical.
it's vertical to angle 6? So we're going to say it's 58 degrees because it is vertical to angle 6. All right, what now?
8 is the alternate window corresponding.
Okay, 8 is corresponding to what?
To 6.
8 is corresponding to 6. Is there another way that I could have found that? So let's go ahead and write that. So we know that angle 8, oh, I don't even have angle 8 on here. Oh, because I have angle 7. This should say angle 8 down here. We already knew what angle 7 was. Change that one to angle 8. I know. Alright, so we're saying that this one is 58 degrees, and you said that it's corresponding to what angle?
Angle 6.
Is there another way that I could have found that? Is there another one?
It's also the alternate interior to angle 4.
It's alternate interior to angle 4. Did it matter which one you give? No, it doesn't matter. So alternate interior to angle 4 could have also been an answer. You may be asked to show all of the options eventually. Alright, so the only one we have left is the measure of angle 2.
Alternate exterior of angle 6. Vertical to angle 8.
Okay, so you could say it's 58 degrees because it's alternate exterior to angle what?
6.
Angle 6, and or it's vertical to angle what?
8.
Alright, so there's multiple, you could have also said it corresponds, oh, we did say corresponds, didn't we? No, we didn't. It corresponds to what? Angle 4, right. Alright. Let's look at another one. It's another way that you'll see this. So I'm going to draw my parallel lines a different way this time. I'm going to draw my parallel lines going this way. We're going to call parallel lines M and N. And then my transversal is going to be P. Okay, I'm going to tell you that this angle is 60 degrees. And I'm going to tell you that this angle is 3x minus 120. I want to know what x is. Okay? So the first thing that you have to look for is you're obviously going to have to set up an equation because there's a variable, right? What do you know about these two angles? They're the same, and you can call them the same. You can't just say they're the same. You have to justify it. And when you justify it, you say that they are what? What are these two angles? Alternate exterior. And because you can give it that name, you know that they are equal. So what can I do between 60 and 3x minus 120?
3x minus 120 equals 60.
Right. We can put an equal sign between them. And now we just have a two-step equation. What do I need to do first? Add 120. Okay. When I add 120, what do I get?
3x 180.
And when I divide by 3, what do I get x to equal?
60.
All right. Here's another one. Okay, let's say we have these two parallel lines and it's cut by a transversal. We'll just call it A, B, and C again. I'm going to say that this angle is x and this angle is 3x minus 6. I want you to solve this one. Okay, are you able to give it any certain name? Can you give these a name? Corresponding. And what do we know about them being corresponding? They are going to be equal. So what should we put in between them?
Equal sign.
So we should have x equals 3x minus 6. And now I need to solve this equation. So what do I do to solve the equation?
Subtract 3x.
Subtract 3x. We can't move this x because it would be a lonely farmer then. So x minus 3x is equals, and then don't forget your negative sign here. You got to bring it down. So equals negative 6. What do I do now? X equals 3. So we're saying that this is 3 degrees. What is this angle going to be then?
3 degrees.
3 degrees. And we can check it to make sure by plugging in this 3 here. We can say, okay, well, 3 times 3 minus 6. What is 3 times 3? Minus 6 is 3. So we know that both of them are 3 degrees. All right, let's step it up a notch. Let's make things a little bit more interesting here. Okay, so let's have parallel lines going this way. We'll call it A and B again. We're going to have, what is this thing called that goes through parallel lines? We're going to have the transversal and label it C. Okay, watch closely. Here, I want you to draw a line going up. Just remember, looks are deceiving. You have to believe whatever they tell you here. We're going to say that this is a right angle. And then down here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to draw a line out. We're going to put a right angle here.
That doesn't look right.
It's okay. Looks are deceiving. Alright, this is going to be angle 1. And then we're just going to go all the way around here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The only information I'm going to give you is that the measure of angle 2 is 135 degrees. That means that you have to find all of the rest of them, and you have to justify it.
Do you want to like put it like in a list?
Yeah, we're going to list them. And you guys will say the measure of angle 1. We don't need to do angle 2 because we already know that one. The measure of angle 3. Measure of angle 4. Measure of angle 5. Measure of angle 6. Measure of angle 7. Measure of angle 8. Measure of angle 9. Measure of angle 10. So before we start doing any of this, let's talk about, there's 2 up there that we already know the angle measure for because they told us what they were, right? 5 and 10. What did they tell us 5 and 10 were?
Right angles.
Right angles. And how many degrees is in a right angle?
90.
90 degrees.
We need to put right angles for that.
No. All right. So after that, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of where to start. You know that every angle has an alternate, a corresponding, and a vertical. Okay? Make sure that you justify your answer. Okay, I'm going to give you just a few minutes. Okay, so we found the measure of angle 5 and angle 10, but what were the next easiest ones? So we knew that this was 135 degrees. What is the next easiest ones to find?
7.
Angle 7, okay. And what did you think that angle 7 was?
175.
Okay, and what was your justification?
Alternate interior to angle 2.
Alternate interior to angle 2. Good. So these are 135 degrees. All right, so alternate interior, what else do we have?
Corresponding.
Okay, corresponding. What does angle 2 correspond with?
Oh, it doesn't. Wait.
7,
No?
9.
It would be 5 and 4 together.
5 and 4 together, right. So these 2 together equal how much?
135.
135 degrees together. But we already know that this is what?
90, so you have to subtract 90 to get 4.
So we knew that angle 4 plus angle 5 corresponds to angle 2. And we knew that, so it was 135 degrees, but how much was angle 5? 90, so what is angle 4 going to be? 45 degrees. All right. So we've got the alternate, we've got the corresponding. What's the one left?
Vertical.
Vertical. So which one are we going to use for vertical?
9 and 10.
9 and 10. So we know that angle 9 and 10 together is how much? 135 degrees. So we'll say angle 9 plus angle 10 is vertical to angle 2. So we'll say 135 minus 90 gives us what?
45.
45 degrees. You could have also said that it's alternate exterior, angle 9 and angle 4. Angle 9 and angle 4 could be alternate exterior. You could have also said that. All right, so what's the next easiest one for me to find?
6. What?
Yeah, 6. 6 and 1.
Okay, so how am I going to find angle 6?
135.
180.
180 minus 135.
Okay, so So we're going to say that this is 135 degrees. We already found that. We know that this is how much? 180 because it's a straight line. So for angle 6, we're going to say it's supplementary to angle 7. So we'll say 180 minus 135, and what do we get?
45.
Okay, so angle 6 is 45 degrees. I need angles 1, 3, and 8.
Angle 1 is alternate exterior.
Angle 1 is alternate exterior to what?
6.
So angle 1, we're saying it's 45 degrees, and we're saying it's alternate exterior to angle 6. All right?
3 is vertical to angle 6.
We're saying that 3 is vertical, so it is also what? So it's vertical to angle 6, and then we have 8 left.
Corresponding to angle 6.
So the only one we have left is 8, and you're saying that it's corresponding. It's in the same place. It's in the bottom left-hand corner. Bottom left-hand corner. All right, so this is also 45 degrees. It is corresponding to angle 6. All right, how do we feel about that now? Are we getting a little bit better at calling out the names? Because remember I told y'all that that was the hardest part, was memorizing what goes where. All right, let's look at another one. All right, so we're going to have a straight line here. I'm going to tell you that this angle is x plus 20. This angle is x plus 10. And this angle is x minus 30. I want you to find each angle. So first you got to solve for x, and then I want you to find each angle measure. Alright guys, so to get you started on this, how many degrees are total in this? 180, because look guys, there is a straight line right here from here to here. All three of these angles together equal 180, so this is supplementary. And you can just put sup. So you know that all of this together has to equal what? 180. So we're going to say x minus 30 plus x plus 10 plus x plus 20 all adds up to 180. So go ahead and simplify your like terms. Do I need to do any inverse operations? No, because they're all on the same side right now. So we have x, x, and x. How many does that make? 3x. We have negative 30 plus 10.
Negative 20.
Negative 20. Plus 20 is 0. So these kind of just cancel each other out, right?
Yeah.
So I just have 3x equals
180.
180. What do I do now?
Divide by 3.
x equals 60. So am I done? No, now I have to find out what each angle measure is. So here for this one, x is going to be 60 plus 20, so it is, so this one is 80 degrees. This one is 60 plus 10, which is, and this one is 60 minus 30, which is 30. All right, and then let's look at one more. So we'll make a plus sign here. We're going to connect these. And draw a line through the middle here. We're going to call this A, B, C, D, E, F, and then this one will be G. So each point has a name here. I'm going to tell you that this is 90 degrees. This is going to be x minus 12. And this is going to be x. So the goal is to solve for x. So what we've been doing the whole time is being able to give it names, right? So what can I give the names here? What name can I give this? Vertical. What is the only angle that I actually know 100% for sure? We know that this is 90 degrees. Well, what do these have in common with this? Vertical. So look, I can say that angle ABF. So follow it kind of like a connect the dot. Angle ABF. So this angle right here is what? Angle ABF. We know it's 90 degrees, but what is it to this angle? Vertical. So it's vertical to what is the other angle that it's vertical to? CBE. So it's vertical to angle CBE. So it's vertical to this whole angle. Well, what do we know then about angle CBE? So it is 90 degrees. So how am I going to solve for x then if I know that this is 90 degrees?
X minus 12 plus x equals 90.
Right. So make me an equation. X minus 12 plus x, so that's these two combined, equals 90 degrees. Go ahead and solve for it. X and x make minus 12. What do I do now? Add 12. You're left with 2x equals 102. Then what do you do? What does x equal? 51. So we know that this one is 51 degrees, and then here we have 51 minus 12. What is that? So this one is 39 degrees. It just asked us to solve for x, but we could take it a step further and solve for those as well. All right, make sure that you have all of the notes